Are you telling me? No. No. No, there's no way. There's no way, bro. So this is from the Guardian News. Now, what are they guarding? In fact, this might be surprising. The news. They don't want you to get it. Where's the audio?
Including, say, if there was Afrikaner
Trump was asked a question about his unsubstantiated white genocide claims.
Genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me. So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective.
Let me see the articles, please, if you would, and excuse me.
Trump then, there's the word, ambushed Ramaphosa with footage he said was evidence for his claims. So, white genocide or white extension or white replacement theory is a national conspiracy theory that claims that there's a deliberate plot to cause the extinction of white people. So, this is what they're doing is they're painting with a deliberately broad brush, because there is a conspiracy theory of the replacement theory that exists, but that doesn't mean that there are not instances of anti-white racism that exist also. So this conspiracy theory is something that is contextualized inside of America and Western societies. So you can't apply the white genocide conspiracy theory propaganda, white supremacist thing whenever you're talking about it with another country. It is contextualized around it being a conversation that's being had inside of Western culture. That's the difference. It's a straw man. It's dishonest. Yeah, exactly. And this is what the media does. Yeah, that only works when it's in a white majority country. They don't even know the racism. Yeah, they don't even understand that they don't. This is to say that people don't understand how to be racist anymore. It's embarrassing. I'm doing my best to try to teach them, but it's going to be it's a long road ahead. Sorry, but genocide is a different definition, man. Sure. I'm not going to argue with you about the name.
We turn the lights down. Turn the lights down. And just put this on. It's right behind you. Johan.
The footage showed a montage of clips. Are we going to see Chibi Reviews? Thanks for 10 subs. I appreciate that. Including former South African President Jacob Zuma and the far-left opposition Julius Malema. Yep. Thank you, Chibi. I appreciate that, man. I hope you're doing well. After the footage was aired, Cyril pushed back against Trump's remarks.
How does it get worse? And these are people that are officials, and they're saying that kill the white farmer and take their land. That's what it is. And I have other friends in South Africa. I have people that left. One in particular that says you can't go there. He said they want to take your land. They take your land and they kill you. It's okay, and they say it's okay to do. Now we're going to talk about it. But this is a tremendous look. This is a story recent. Yeah. These are all people that recently got killed.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it can get any worse.
Let me clarify that.
Yeah, please.
Let me clarify that, because what you saw, the speeches that were being made, one, that is not government policy. We have a multi-party democracy.
Yes, it is. Because it's against the law to say that stuff, but they're not in jail. It's against your laws, but you're letting them say it. It's just, which law? The law for advocating and inciting violence. South Africa has that.
Democracy in South Africa that allows people to express themselves, political parties to adhere to various policies, and in many cases, or in some cases, those policies do not go along with government policy. Our government policy is completely against what he was saying, even in the parliament. And they're a small minority party.
25%.
Which is allowed to exist in terms of our constitution.
But you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can take land.
And then when they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No, there is
nothing happens to
them.
There
is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people.
Oh, man. Man, it's really sad. 25% is huge. Yeah, it's a lot of people, right? It definitely is. And it's really crazy. And search on a Twitter flashback, President of South Africa say he'll take away land without compensation. I don't know about that in general. And you can see, obviously, people are completely rejecting this. Nobody is in favor of this. Everybody hates it. And I'm very happy about this. I'm extremely happy about it. Hopefully this continues to be the case. And bullshit like this basically just keeps dying. I think this is what's going to happen in general. And so it's okay to kill white people because blacks also get killed? Well, of course, right? And they're just trying to downplay it and act like it's not a big deal because it makes them look bad because they're letting it happen. Oh, God. Oh, this is it here. Okay.
Yamish, good to see you.
Hi, good. Thanks for taking the question.
Sure.
The president showed a video that he said showed more than 1,000 burial sites of white South Africans that he said were murdered. We know that was not true and that the video wasn't showing that. So I wonder, why did the president choose to show that?
What's not true, Yamish?
It's not true that the video was showing a burial site. It is unsubstantiated that that's the case.
No, it is true that video showed the crosses that represent...
And so this is the funny thing, is that it is technically not a burial site. The crosses are put up there as a, like, for example, they're buried somewhere else, but the crosses are put up as a memorial. So they're trying to say that Trump was lying because they weren't actually buried there. It was just a memorial. I'm serious. Like, you listen to this again.
It's not true that the video was showing a burial site. It is unsubstantiated that that's the case.
No, it is true that video showed the crosses that represent...
Which is what the president claimed.
It wasn't a burial site.
The video showed images of crosses in South Africa about white farmers who have been killed and politically persecuted because of the color of their skin.
The president
and those
claimed
crosses
that
are representing their lives. Those crosses are representing their lives in the fact that they are now dead and their government did nothing about it. Are you disputing that there's no...
disputing the fact that the video showed what the president claimed it showed, because it did not show that. But even more, what I'm asking you is who at the White House...
No, it did show that. It showed white crosses representing people who have perished because of racial persecution.
Verifies the videos that the president shows, and what protocols are in place when there's unsubstantiated information...
What verifies it? Well, unsubstantiated information
being put out for the world and world leadership.
Where is the unsubstantiated information? This reporter's dog shit. Well, I want you guys to see kind of, and this is the way that a lot of media behaves, and this is how you have to be aware of it, is that they use really, like, one of the reasons why the mainstream media is so effective and has been so effective for so long is because most people do not have a strong grasp over the English language. And so these types of rhetorical devices and, like vocabulary changes and just different like little tricks people play with their words actually fool a lot of people because they don't have that, like the semantics, right? The semantics fool a lot of people.
What's unsubstantiated about the video? The video shows crosses that represent the dead bodies of people who were racially persecuted by their government. In fact,
and by the way, she's approaching this in the right way. You don't engage with a dishonest framing that's based off of a deliberate misunderstanding. Because her point of contention is a deliberate misunderstanding that's done intentionally to try to make it look bad. Some crazy shit, yes. Never play into that game.
Associated Press, of all places, has a picture of that very monument, and the caption from the Associated Press is, "Each cross marks a white farmer who has been killed in a farm murder." So it is substantiated, but it's not just by that video and the physical evidence that
She's actually arguing because it's not a burial site that the president was wrong and he shouldn't have shown it. That's right. Yep.
Everybody saw on display in the Oval Office, but also by another outlet in this room, the Associated Press. So you should take it up with them if you believe the claim is unsubstantiated, and that's a ridiculous line of questioning. John, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you, Carolyn. The big, beautiful bill now goes to the Senate.
Does, yes.
A lot of the Republican senators have promised amendments that will water this thing down dramatically. What is the president's...
This is some other bullshit.
Negotiations will cause them to take off significant money from their Social Security.
Yeah, I just wanted to see that one right there. I just wanted you guys to see the that's the level of dishonesty that people like this engage in. That's it. That's it. Trump did describe the video as being a burial site. However, it still doesn't minimize the underlying issue. So this is the problem that people like you have, is that you think that you can play these small semantics games and that anybody is going to care. It doesn't matter whether the bodies were buried there or not. The idea and the word burial site means effectively the same thing. You are focused on the literal meaning of the words because you want to avoid the implication of the words. That's what you're doing. You don't care about using proper language. You don't care about any of that. The only thing that you care about is reframing it in a way that makes it look like he said something that was wrong. That's what you're doing. It's obvious this is what you're doing. Like, this type of dishonest behavior is so annoying to me. He agrees with you? No, he doesn't. What people like this do, and the thing is that I didn't say anything wrong. You misunderstood. No, I don't misunderstand. A lot of other people do because they don't understand I don't think people are picking up on the manipulation that's going on. So what's being discussed here and the way that this is being approached is that President Trump referred to this area as a burial site. It's not a burial site, but it's a representation of a burial site. This is an irrelevant distinction that causes the White House to capitulate and for them to use a soundbite and say that Trump was technically wrong. It doesn't serve any other goal other than to score semantics points and to undervalue something in a way that's dishonest. That's what's happening. They're intentionally trying to minimize the situation by creating a hyper-specific example where a word does not mean the exact specific thing. And I understand, and the problem is that, again, you're not going to trick me with this kind of stuff because I am the master of lying. I've made videos about how to lie to people. I understand this better than any of these people do. That's why I do what I do. That's why, by the way, so many people watch this. I can tell this instantly. I was doing this when I was a little kid. Are you lying now? Yes. Okay, dude. No, I'm just telling you. Like, it's very, very obvious when it's happening. It's gotcha media. Yes, it is. He did agree, though. Explain. No, the fixation on that agreement is a intentional obfuscation in order to undermine what's being discussed. That's what's happening. That's what they're doing. Yeah, it's disingenuous. Yeah, I mean, like, I can see through this instantly. Like, it really. I mean, I don't know what to say. Or he's just very literal. No, people like this are not very literal. They're literal when it's beneficial, and they're figurative when it's beneficial. It's not about being literal or figurative. It's about using something as an advantage based off of what your viewpoint is.
But do you I ask because
Yeah.
do you feel like you're part of a new establishment that's being created?
I don't think I'm part of a new establishment. I think it would be pretty difficult to look at these podcasts. I know it's a popular thing right now, especially in certain media circles, to say that after running an incredibly unpopular candidate who was introduced very late in the race because an elderly man who could not be the president, who everyone told was functioning as the president for 4 years, decided to. This wind is wild, huh?
Yeah.
See? But this was a very specific circumstance in which Kamala Harris ran for the presidency.
Yeah.
She was somewhat unpopular, and she was not a star in Democratic.
She wasn't somewhat unpopular. She had a 1% fucking approval rating in the Democratic primary in 2020, bro. She was a flop. People didn't even like her then.
Politics before this at all. And her communication strategy was pretty weak. I think most people have admitted that. So to hang this defeat all on a few podcasts and to say that they were the problem, I just don't buy the narrative. So I don't think I'm a new establishment. If you weigh, again, a few comedians with podcasts versus all of the people that supported Kamala Harris,
Entire
Democrat donors, billionaires, big people. If the idea is that me and a few comedians have more power than multi-billionaires, huge media institutions, a whole political party apparatus, I just don't think most people are going to buy that. I think it seems like a great way to excuse running an unpopular candidate on a platform that American people weren't sold on.
Yeah, it does seem a little bit like that, right? Damn.
I think even beyond politics, though, even beyond the question of the election, like, again, I know the, like, liberal Joe Rogan conversation is so dominant, and I think not, like,
the reason why there isn't a liberal Joe Rogan is because it's called Joe Rogan, number one. Number two, the reason why there isn't a super lefty, progressive, left-wing Joe Rogan is because you have 5 of them on network television. You've got Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, fucking Seth Meyers, there's the other 2, I forgot even their fucking names. Who cares? You've got The View. And the reason why you don't have any of them that have mainstream internet appeal, the reason why is because the opinions aren't popular. That's the reason why Joe Rogan is popular is because what he's saying is popular. So you're not going to achieve the same level of Joe Rogan's popularity by saying things that don't have the same level as Joe Rogan's popularity. It's so simple.
Nuanced enough. But there is power in a massive audience.
There's absolutely power in a massive audience. But if you're saying that power is equal to the CIA or all of these other people that have been very critical of President Trump, right?
Yeah.
So the idea that, like, the power that Theo Von has would be equal to, like, the intelligence agencies or these massive legacy media institutions seems crazy.
But you got way more audience than when you're saying we don't have power, we're not the CIA. Well, there's some gradations between that, and also I'm sure there's
some gradations between that. What do you mean by that?
Well, just you use the word establishment.
Yeah.
I didn't say that we didn't have any power or that audiences weren't powerful. But when you use the term establishment, I think that's more than just having an audience. That's having an institutional component that I don't think we have. But I think legacy media does. I think the government and the intelligence community.
Legacy media does for now. I think it will die out as time goes on. And I think that really you could see Comcast looking to sell, I think it was MSNBC, after the election. If you are a big company and you own a media apparatus and your media apparatus cannot generate the political outcomes that you want it to, why do you own the media apparatus? It's like if you have a microwave and you put a bag of popcorn in the microwave and then you pull out and there's no fucking popcorn, it's still just the fucking things in there. Well, what the fuck do you need a microwave for? It's broken, it doesn't work. You get a new microwave, you gotta sell it, maybe sell it to somebody else, throw it away, get rid of it.
Do. I think Hollywood certainly does. And I think all of those people, all of those power factions have worked together for a very, very, very long time. So to say that a few comedians with podcasts equal that seems crazy.
I see
to
why.
me.
Okay, I understand.
That's the only thing I'm saying.
I think that there's a bit of truth in both of the arguments. I think that it's outrageous to say that the institutional, oh wait, no, it gets better. Uh-oh.
You know, again, I can name you very successful left-wing or left-of-center comics who are playing in theaters and arenas and have movies out.
Yeah.
And then I can name you some which apparently now there's 5 podcasters that dominate the whole world. This is a crazy thing. But this is every article that's been written since the election.
The fact is that part of that is true. I think that mainstream media and the amount of people that are consuming CNN content is actually a lot smaller than you might imagine. And I think that their audiences are dwindling at a rapidly increasing rate. Like, I think that basically if you were to chart their like trajectory, it would probably be going like this. And the reason why is that their prime demographic is dying. That's straight up the reason why. What do old people do? They die. So new people aren't coming in and replacing them. So where are their audience going? Nowhere. They're disappearing. And then you also even have boomers that are going to the internet anyway. And CNN's just an example. Look at MSNBC, Google Analytics. Maybe I can after this.
That 5 guys now are the only people in comedy who make money or have audiences. It's the craziest narrative ever, and it came off the heels of running one of the most unpopular candidates with a platform that the American people largely rejected. They largely rejected this platform, and they rejected it in 2016, and then everybody got together and said, it's actually these 5 guys who had podcasts. They're the most powerful people in the world. They're the new establishment, and they're the reason for this electoral defeat, not our unpopular policies and our candidate who ran on a platform of joy.
Joy. And so anyway, it's that podcast controlled everything. MSM is just that horrible. I think that a lot of people also don't realize how bad MSM is doing.